I'm going to be covering the move command. Now this is what I like to call one of the fundamentals of AutoCAD especially. And many times you'll use the move command with another command as well. Most of the time it's kind of like a command of necessity. So let's get into it. So the shortcut for the move command, if you type on your keyboard, is MOV, as you can see there, move command. Or alternatively, you can go to the Home tab, Modify section, and the move command, and left click to activate it. And now the first thing it's going to ask you for in your command line down below is to select an object. I'm going to be selecting all my green objects and moving them to a part on my red objects. And to do this, I'm going to left click on my object using my mouse, and then I'm going to press enter to select an object. And now in our command line down below, it's going to ask for a base point or displacement. So the base point, it kind of controls where you can select your object from, which point you can select. So for me, I'm going to left click within my geometric center, and now I'm going to move it along to the geometric center of my red object. I'm going to left click, now it has been moved into place. So one thing to bear in mind is your object snapping, what you have on and off. Earlier I explained it kind of controls where you'll be able to select, and these are the options. So now I'm going to move this green object here. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click the midpoint of my object, and now I'm going to move it upwards towards the end point of my red line. Move my mouse, and I'm going to left click to place it. So I'm going to go back into my move command, and now I'm going to select my circle by the quadrant and move it up with my mouse and click the midpoint of my two lines here and left click. Here's a quick tip also. So I'm going to go back into my move command, and now I'm going to select my circle. I can click a point like I have been doing within my circle, or I can hold my mouse over a point and I can drag my mouse, and bear in mind that my dynamic input down below is on, which allows you to type a distance or have input within AutoCAD. But if I hover my mouse, as you can see, it's kind of got this green tracking line that comes up, and what this allows me to do, if I type in distance of 50, and it will now select that as my point. Now I can use that point to move to the midpoint of my two lines here, and as you can see here, the center of my circle isn't the center. It's got a displacement of 50 between the midpoint and the center of my circle. And the whole idea of that is you can move from a set distance rather than a point. You can move multiple objects at one time also. Simply left click the objects you want to move and repeat the process that we have been doing. So that's how you move multiple objects. Just bear in mind your object snapping and where you're trying to move the object to. Please leave a comment down below with any tips, tricks, or CAD related topics you want me to cover moving forward. All the best.